Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Long time no see. It feels like it's been ages since I last did a live. So I'm hoping that somebody somewhere out there is tuned in and can see me either on Facebook or on YouTube. Oh, hi, Selena. Hi, Melanie. Oh, thank you. At least you've reassured me that I have gone live. I think you can see me and hear me. Let me know if you can. I've got a new microphone, so Mr. G and I couldn't even remember how to log in to set the live up. So it feels like we're learning on a learning curve all over again. Oh, hi, Jane. Hi, Karen. Hi, Caroline. Oh, Mr. G's giving me the thumbs up as well. I know. Have you had a good summer? I hope so. Yeah, I think the last time I did a live or was on camera or certainly in front of the camera was June. So how did we get to September already? It's just flown by. I've had a lovely, lovely break. It was much needed. I feel very refreshed. I feel very inspired. I have been jumping down lots of rabbit holes. So if you watch my Make It Sunday YouTube videos, you've probably seen some of the little creative experiments that I've been enjoying over the summer. And it was just the refresh that I needed. Absolutely was. And I hope you've had some time to take a break, enjoy the glorious weather we've had this summer, and kind of regain your mojo if you had lost it. Certainly I was feeling mine had gone missing, and I feel it's back in full force now. Yes, I am. I do feel relaxed, Selena. Thank you. It's funny, isn't it? I think even with tonight's live, I used to get really stressed about lives, really stressed. And the concern was more about launching product. And we talked about this back in June, so I won't kind of rehearse it all again. My decision to move away from the kind of the regular physical releases, but obviously the pressure is on because you feel like I've got boxes of products here that I need to be able to sell, and that was starting to take away my confidence and also my creativity because I was focused more on being able to make a sale rather than actually being able to just enjoy the making part of it, which is what we all love doing. So yeah, I feel much more relaxed, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to use this group, use this channel, use lives, and use YouTube as a way of inspiring you and giving you encouragement and ideas of how you can use all of that product I'm sure you have in your craft room. That being said, I do have some new stuff tonight. But very much more in the direction that I think I'm probably going to go down, which is digital collections. I do have some physical dies tonight, which are new, but they're not new as in I just had them made. They're new in that I never got round to releasing them. So there's stuff that I already had as products. So this isn't the start of me bringing out lots more new physical products. I'm still planning to stay with the digital and the online inspiration and ideas rather than bringing out lots more stamp sets, paper pads, etc. So I hope that makes sense. Oh, that's great, Karen. Or do take some photos of the paper weaving and share how the group get on with it. I've got slightly obsessed with the weaving, actually. I've got some ideas. I think I asked about it in my YouTube video about whether people would like a class on it, because I've got some ideas of doing the weaving in different formats and making slightly different things with it. So paper weaving this still is, not loom weaving. So yeah, if anybody's interested in that, then do pop a comment on and I'll get something filmed. Hi, Glynis. Yes, absolutely. Of course, and stencils. And that's what the summer has enabled me to do, really, is just to regroup and focus on what is it that I most enjoy creating with? What is it that I feel I can make a contribution with to the kind of the crafting community that reflects my style, and stencils is definitely at the core of that, because that's where I started as a business. It's very rarely I make anything that doesn't involve some level of stenciling. So, you know, I'm still very much planning to bring out new stencils and share those with you. And the ones that I brought out over the summer and demoed with, I know have been really popular. So hopefully those of you who enjoy a bit of stenciling will still very much be able to come to Funky Fossil and get some fantastic designs. So that is still very much in the pipeline. So the stencils, the digitals, working with lovely friends and colleagues and doing collaborations, I say doing workshops in person and online. That's really where my thought process is taking me. And certainly I wanted to come on to the live tonight and share that with you, and certainly get any feedback or get any ideas that you may have of things you'd like to see me do, both in terms of videos you'd like to see me make, or if there's any things that you think, oh, actually it'd be great if Sarah did X or Y, then just share the ideas with me either in the chat, or you can message me at any time. Now obviously tonight's new collection is digital. So, and I totally get the digital isn't for everybody, and not everyone has a printer, and not everyone will necessarily want to explore that kind of digital space. But I'm sure lots of you will, and hopefully will find it a great kind of cost-effective way of accessing lots of design work that gives you the versatility that digital does, which of course means you can print the things that you want to use when you want to use them. You can not worry about hoarding those papers, because you can print as many of that favorite pattern as you like out. You can print on different substrates, you can make stickers, you can use rice paper, etc. So I think there's a whole world that digital artwork opens up. And certainly with every time I release a digital collection, my plan, and I've done that with this one as well, is to send you with the collection a link to a YouTube video, or a video, so that I've recorded with some demos and tips and hints about the way that I would want to be using that particular collection. So there is a free video attached to this collection, Summer Twilight, that when you make the purchase, you'll get the link and you'll be able to watch that as well. So that won't be on my regular YouTube channel. That will be something that only those people that purchase the collection can see. I hope that makes sense. In terms of printing, absolutely, you can use a LaserJet, or you can use an inkjet printer. A home printer, absolutely fine. And actually, I think in the video I did for this collection, I was talking a little, I've got both. That is just because Mr. G, in one of Mr. G's past lives, he used to work for a printer company. So we've got a laser and an inkjet printer, but the designs will print and work on either. It's just some techniques or some styles of work, not styles of work, styles of make might work better on one than another. So for example, you know, if you're going to do a transfer on a gel plate, you need a LaserJet image rather than an inkjet image. So if there's a particular technique that certain printers will work better for, then I would always make you aware of that. But absolutely, you can craft from your home printer. I've got the papers printed out tonight, so I'll show you them printed. And I have been printing on Pink Frog 160 GSM smooth white paper. It is designed for printing on, but of course, also being Pink Frog, it does take some wet mediums, it takes your inks for blending, so you can still work on top of that paper as you might do with your kind of other craft papers. So it doesn't stop you doing lots of the things that you would have done if you bought the paper from a paper pad. I'm not the world's, as you can gather, I'm not a major expert on printers or the technical side of things, but certainly if you've got any questions or you encounter any difficulties either in downloading your images or when you get them, how to print them out, then absolutely throw them into the Facebook group or message me directly, because if I can't answer it, I bet you somebody in Fun with Funky Fossil will be able to help as well. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Paul. Lovely to see you. Hi, Sarah. Yes. Yeah, letting things dry. Certainly some of the, with some designs, and I've done that before. I've taken it straight off the printer and then put something over the top of the paper, and it's moved. So yeah, you do need to let your papers dry before you start making with them. I'm not going away, Debbie. No, I've got lots of ideas about things that I'd like to do. We've already been talking stencils, continue to do those, Digi-Collections, classes, online classes and in person. So yeah, I'm really revved up about sharing the joy that I've got back. The creativity that I feel again, and some of the better techniques that I've been able to play with and explore a little bit, because I've not been so focused on I need to get this collection out next week, I need to get a collection out in 2 weeks' time. I'm not constrained by that timetable anymore, so I'm able to really have playtime and then convert that into stuff that hopefully might be of interest to you. Right. Anyway, shall we have a look at so there's two things I want to do tonight, as well as take any feedback or comments or questions. But the two things that I want to do is, one, go through the Digi-Collection and the new dies. So you have a quick flick through those. They're now on the shop, so you can purchase those. And as I say, you'll get a link to the free demo video when you make that purchase. And then I want to talk about our new challenge, our new monthly challenge, because I have totally missed seeing all of the challenge entries coming into the Facebook group. So I thought, let's kickstart a new challenge, but in a slightly different format. So we'll get to that after we've had a look at the new products. Right. Hi, Susan. No, you haven't missed anything. Hello, Erica, lovely. Have you all seen Erica's fabulous new collection, Labour of Love? I've been sharing some of the things I've made with it in the Facebook group, but it is absolutely stunning. So yeah, definitely check that out. And there's still a 10% discount with the code THANKYOU10 up until midnight on Friday if you haven't as yet given in to temptation. So and that collection, Labour of Love, works brilliantly with this Summer Twilight collection as well. So if you're wanting backgrounds, papers, ephemera that are going to enhance the stamps that Erica's designed, they're going to work a treat. Right. Aren't they beautiful, Debbie? Yeah, I know. I love them. Hi, Sue. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hi, Nicola. Yes, I've snuck on. Did you not realise I was going to be live? Oh, that's another thing I should say before I start talking about the new collection. And it's not new. I should say that. It is a reboot of a collection we had out a few years ago. I've extended it, added to it, etc. So, but for those of you that have followed me for a while, this may take you back to a collection that absolutely flew and sold out repeatedly. So I know lots of you would probably like to get your hands on these papers. So that's why I bought this out in a digital format. I was going to say something then, wasn't I? I was going to say something. I was talking about the new. Do you know my concentration span hasn't improved, has it? I can't remember what I was going to say. I can't remember. Oh, it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. I'm going to try and get a short demo done as well. So stay tuned for that. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So obviously I'm live tonight. It was back to Nicola's comment about me sneaking on. I'm live tonight. I'm not planning to do weekly lives. I'm planning to do them once a month on the first Wednesday of every month. And that's when we'll kickstart the challenge for that month as well. Because I'm wanting to continue with my weekly YouTube videos and also start recording some classes and other content. I'm not going to, once again, overcommit and say I'm going to be live every week, because I'm just not going to really want to, excuse me, commit to that timetable. I'm going to turn the camera around because I'm about to choke. You don't want to see that. And I'll get my drink. Today's drink, in case you're interested, is iced coffee, which I've become slightly addicted to over the summer. Thank you, Debbie. I mean, I will do more lives if and when I've got the capacity, but having had that burnout at the beginning of the summer, I'm wanting to be really mindful about not saying I'm going to do everything all at once again. Because once I start to commit myself or kind of paint myself into a corner like that, then all of this excitement and creativity that I feel I want to share now will start to kind of evaporate. So I'm going to try and recognize that to do these things well and to do them in a way that can that I can give you something that hopefully will inspire. I've got to pace myself. That's the word. Right. So let's have a quick look at these products. I say this isn't really about kind of selling product, but I do think these two things I wanted to share with you as part of the live. So we've got this die set, which is called Just the Ticket, and it's basically a ticket book. You can see it's got quite a lot of content to it. So it's got 2 pages. One page has got the notches, which will hold the ticket, and the other is a solid page with a matching mat for the sections of the page itself. And my idea, this is such a cool idea because, of course, if you're wanting to give a gift, or do you know those kind of, if you want to give a ticket thing, where you say, like, I don't know, date night, or doing the dishwasher, or all those things that you might, or babysitting, all those things that you might say or do as almost like little gifts. And you could put them on the tickets and give somebody a ticket book that they could cash in during the course of the year. So it's a great way of giving a gift. You could put cinema tickets in it, but equally, it's a great way of making a little ephemera journal, or kind of art journal, which is obviously what I've done with this new collection, and we'll have a flick through it in a second. So it's a really cute size, in that it's a nice size. It's almost like it's not exactly artist trading card size, but it's that kind of dimension, this section here. So a great way of kind of keeping lots of little bits and pieces that you want to enjoy. If you wanted to do for example, kind of something for a wedding or a new baby, etc., it's a nice little, we used to call them brag books, didn't we? I think it is, from memory, 13.5 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters, just to give you an idea of the dimensions. So that's available as a new die set in the shop. It is also available as a bundle with the digital collection at a fabulous price. Hiya, Kathy, lovely to see you. I think watching me on mute is probably the best idea, Jane. I think probably everyone's got me on mute. So there's a great price on the bundle, the combination, and in the free demo video that I've recorded as part of this collection, I do make a ticket book. However, you don't need the dies to make the ticket book, because I have also put some ticket pages in your digital download. So if you don't want to buy the dies, I didn't want you to feel excluded in terms of the makes we share in the free video. So there are ticket book pages and tickets and mats already in your digital download if you want to craft along with me but don't want to buy the die set. But the die set and the digital collection combo is at a really fantastic price. So if you do think you make use of this, then it's definitely worth checking out that combo. So, Summer Twilight, hopefully lots of you will... Hello, Belinda lovely. Oh, lots of lovely people on tonight. It's so great to catch up with you all. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Yes, So if you saw Summer Twilight a couple of years ago, of course, our paper pads had 12 pages and 12 designs and 3 of each in the pads. And as I say, Summer Twilight sold out a couple of times. Now I've got 20 pages in this digital kit, so you're going to get more and new designs in addition to the ones that were in the original paper pad. There's also digital stamps, and there's also ephemera and tags and the ticket book pages we were talking about. So there's a lot in there. So I'm going to have a very quick flick through. So this is a new page with the ferns. This is a kind of shabby chic lavender style. Of course, these are A4 in format. And as I say, I printed them on my laser printer on 160 GSM paper, but you can print them on in fact, if I was going to use them for collage, and I have done with some, I printed them on copy paper because that's nice and thin for tearing and collaging. So it depends really what you want to use them for. Some more shabby chic lavender against a cracked wall. I do love these lavenders, even though they're purple or lilac and purple, aren't they? Now this one was in the original paper pad, so some of you might recognize some of these. This one was, and it's gorgeous because obviously you've got all these elements in there that you can cut out and use again for layering or collage, etc. The solids in this are fabulous because when Olga initially put them together, they've got layers embedded in them, grids and text, etc. So you'll see a lot in there when you print it out. We've got these fantastic florals. This is a smaller version that I've cut out of one of the tags, but you can see you're going to have it in different kind of formats in the collection. This is a very moody one. I love this one with the scene in it. In fact, I was just showing Erica before we went live. I just did a page in my journal with her beautiful foxglove from the new stamp collection, but onto one of those sheets of paper, which I've just kind of grunged up with some white paint. I've added a bit of stitching, one of my current obsessions. But it's a ready-made scene, isn't it? So I just think it looks wonderful with Erica's new stamps. What else? There's one of the solid ones in those lovely rich greens. These are my kind of greens. You know I love a green. This, I think, is one of my favourite papers. And this one, and there might be another one. I think this one here. But I think these are two of my favourites from the collection. And these are great printed as rice papers because, of course, you can imagine all the potential that's going to give you for things that you're going to be able to make with your rice papers. So again, it's not a format I was able to give you when it wasn't digital, but now you've got them in a way that you'll be able to do that if you want to. Here's another scene. And, you know, I said I was slightly obsessed with paper weaving. That was Sunday's video. Love that one. Have I got a paper weaving page? I'm sure I do. Here. So here's that purple page, but I've woven into the page with one of the green pages from the kit. So again, very little work needed to do on that page. I just added the weaving. I just cut strips or cut into the page rather than cutting all the way through so that I could weave through it. So lots you can do. Fabulous kind of photorealistic lavender as well there. I love this one. This is another great worker one because it's got that old wall feel to it. Lots of text in there, really soft colours. Another kind of, you know, if you wanted to do your like a journal which was like vintage field notes, you know, kind of botanicals, these will cut out beautifully and work in that format. This is another of my favourites. There's text within this, close-up of the leaf, the veins in the leaf. And then we've got one here in the lilacs again with lots of distressing, subtle distressing in it. And I think this is the final. So that's 20 pages that you can print out. But of course, the joy of this is you only need to print out those pages you really, really want and really wanting to create with. So you don't need to have them all out on your desk like I do here. So there are 3 sets of the digi-stamps. Ones like this you'll recognise with that wildflower tapestry, which is absolutely beautiful. Oh, I must show you, this is a real win. I was dead excited about this afternoon. So I did a, what's the word? I did a transfer. That's a packaging tape transfer. So I stuck this white laser printout onto some packing tape and then rubbed away the back. I wet the back, lots of water, rubbed it away. So this is completely transparent and then layered over the pattern paper. It's just fantastic. Of course, because the packing tape is glossy, then I put matte medium over the top of it, which dulls the glossiness down slightly, but it still has a slight sheen to it. But that's so cool, isn't it? It's great. It's a great way of using your laser. And I'm fairly sure those of you who know more about these things, Carol Ann's on, isn't she? She'll know. I think that probably only works with a laser print rather than an inkjet print. Belinda will know as well because Belinda knows these things too. And then I have turned some of our previous stamps into kind of these circular elements again, so they didn't exist previously, but they are using designs or images you may be familiar with. And if you have the A6 stamp set, then it'd be great to be able to combine that with the circular element we've got there. The fox, again, Wildflower Fox was one of the original stamps, as was the squirrel. And then the new addition in the Digi stamps is the lovely dormouse. So he's again surrounded by foliage and florals and that moon image. So that wasn't originally released. I thought it was laser only, Belinda. Thank you, lovely. Then I've got 3 seed packets, mini seed packets here with lots of little labels. Let me see if I can find my seed packets. I had them a second ago. Of course, I've lost them in my excitement. We'll see them in a minute. They're quite mini. In fact, I've got one stuck in my journal. Here you go. So they're quite mini, really dinky. Really nice. Again, just printed out, folded. I have where possible, I have put fold lines in white. So they're not really very visible. They're visible in real life, but they're not very visible because I didn't want a black line that then you would potentially struggle to hide when you were using it, when you're crafting with it in person. But it's very straightforward where those folds would happen anyway. So I didn't want the folds to be too obvious. And I'm on a learning curve with Digi. So if there are different formats that you prefer, or different ways of presenting artwork that you prefer, then let me know. And Caroline will probably be well placed. The 160 GSM paper I've been using, Nicola, is the Pink Frog 160 GSM. And that's worked really nicely, and it seems to have quite a few of the qualities of Pink Frog cardstock in that I've been able to use wet medium on it, ink blend, stencil, etc. So it seems a nice in between weight in that it will take quite a lot of further work. Hello, Donna, lovely. So this is one of the sheets of ephemera, and those of you that got the rub-ons at the point when we released Summer Twilight will probably recognise many of these. Now, what I have done with these, and excuse my dog-eared page, is I printed them onto rice paper. So I have used repositionable adhesive to put it onto some copy paper, to run that through my inkjet printer. And look how beautiful that looks. And then you can see here, it's then kind of given me a nice seamless finish So yeah, definitely use them on rice paper to get different effects. And then of course we've got our tags. We've got kind of various sentiments. We've got this wood grain, which I've been using quite a lot actually. I'm surprised how much I've used it. We did have washi tape of that wood grain. I don't know if we've got that anymore. I don't think we do. Specimen slides, tags, as I say. So lots of various bits of ephemera, all of which are going to tie in. But of course, if you have some tag dies, and we do sell those, then you can be using your dies with the pattern papers. So I'm trying to give you a mix of things that will get you started out the blocks. But of course, then you can use your existing dies and stamps and stencils to take this collection further. And say these are the ticket book pages that I have created for those of you that don't want to buy the dies but do want to make something similar. And of course, then you can use that as a template and cut further pages out of the collection. Just the die makes it quicker. That's all really. Well, here are my seed packets. So there you go. I've got a couple of those. So it makes 3 lovely little seed packets, which I think are a nice thing to add to cards and also to your ticket book. There you go, thinking ahead of you, Glynis. Glynis, I have been loving some of your makes online. You've been doing a fabulous work with Janice's new timestamp collection. So brilliant work. Right, so that is the collection. And as I say, you can get the digi, you can get the dies, you can get them together, and they're all available online. And I don't know how, unfortunately, because I don't have my design team, then I only have a few samples to share with you. But obviously, I've shown you my 2 journal pages so far. More will follow, as I'm sure you know. And I've done a card. I shared that online today. This is our skeleton leaf stencil in the background, which I thought tied in nicely with the leaf veins of the paper. So that is very simple, die cut, and stick to put that together. And we've got our sticker stack sentiment in there. And then I made another card. This is like an A5 card, just with the tag, and it matches the paper. So I've literally torn the papers up, stenciled a bit over the top, and then put the matching tag in there. When I'm making things like the tags or things that I want to have some kind of integrity, then I typically just back them onto some card and cut them out. Obviously, when I'm sticking things down, I don't need to, but if I want it to be a tag or something that's going to stand alone, then I typically put it onto a bit of card. No, Donna, I'm afraid we're not doing a physical. Sorry, that was me reading the comment. We're not doing a physical release. I was saying at the beginning, I'm not moving back into, or currently have no plans to move back into releasing physical products in terms of stamps and dies and papers. I'm going to continue with my stencils, and my stencil collection will continue to grow. I'll be sharing digitals, particularly those collections maybe that you have liked in the past. For example, I'm thinking of bringing out a digital collection around the trees theme, the Poetry of Trees paper pad, but it gives me the potential to expand on that and offer you a much bigger and broader range of designs. But yes, I appreciate it won't be for everybody, because not everybody will have a printer or want to make that investment, but that's the way that I'm going at the moment in order to release myself from that pressure of buying in high volumes of product and then feeling that I need to try and kind of move that as a small business. I hope that makes sense, lovely. So that was my journal pages. They were my cards, and then, as I say, I've done this fabulous little ticket book. And again, some of the pages are literally just combining elements from the papers, some of the digital stamps that I've coloured in. This one with my famous packing tape transfer. I might try and fit that in on a Sunday video. Here's the blackberries from the ephemera, but on rice paper. I got a bit carried away with the acrylic paint on that one, so they are a bit obscured, but they're quite cool. Made that as a pocket with some of the little tags from the ephemera. It's just one of those little projects that you just enjoy having a dabble with. So I sewed that in because I'm slightly stitching obsessed. I love this page. Let me show. So here, for example, here's one of the tickets. Got "You Are Loved" on the back. So you could use it as a prompt book. You could have different journaling or creative prompts on different tickets and pick them out. You could have it as a positive affirmation book for somebody and have all the sentiments on the tickets. So here's a vellum page that I made where I stitched around the edges of the two pieces of vellum and I put some lavender seeds in the middle. So like a little pocket, and that is rice paper again. That's so lovely, and of course it means the book smells lovely. And then a flap. See you later, Karen. So yeah, so really lovely and easy to make project. So hopefully, and of course, if you purchase the dies, then you'll be able to cut it out of anything. I thought it was quite a nice combo to have the dies because I certainly cut a lot of page blanks out of cream and craft card stock so that I could embellish them and decorate them, but it just saved me time to have them as solid pages that I die cut to start with. So that is our collection. I hope you like it. I appreciate, as I say, not everyone has a printer. So what have I missed, Hannah? Have I confused you? It's easily done. Yeah, that's true. Good birthday reminder book. I definitely need one of those. And I just need to find the book to remember the birthdays. Oh, thanks, Jane. Right. Let me talk about this challenge. Take 3. So what I thought would be a really fun thing to do, because Ali and I used to kind of rack our brains and try and think of challenges every month. And what I thought would be nice would be that I would have 3 jars of prompts. We've got a technique, a colour and a theme. And I'm going to choose at random from each of these. So I'm going to have 3 prompts each month. And I will use these prompts to make my Sunday video this Sunday. So you'll see me use these 3 elements to make something, and you will have the rest of September to make a project and share it in the Facebook group using each of these 3 prompts to inspire your make. Now, I appreciate, obviously I'm not bringing out as much product as I used to do, so it doesn't have to be only Funky Fossil. I would like something Funky Fossil on your make, but it could be a sentiment from the sticker stack. It could be a stencil in the background. I'm not going to be overly precious. Please use other brands and products that you have if they fit well with this kind of theme. But just something Funky Fossil would really help me. Yeah, it's just a final die set that I had in my stash. Lovely. So yeah, it's not the dawn of a new era of new products, but it is a fabulous die set. So I thought I would have the jars for our live, so you could see me pick them out. So you know I'm not just selecting 3 prompts that I really want to use. This could all go horribly wrong, of course, as with all of my bright ideas. So shall we do take 3? And I'll put this in the newsletter tomorrow and I'll put it on the Facebook group so you won't forget what the 3 prompts are. And do you know what? I have even in this colour, I've even put purple. That's how mean I was being to myself. So what's our colour going to be? Oh, that's an easy one. Black and white +1. Okay, so that's the colour prompt. Let's see what the technique prompt is. Whoops. Put that one back in. Oh, there's two there. Metallic. So incorporate something metallic in your make. It could be embossing powder. It could be mirror board. It could be a metallic charm or embellishment. These are just things off the top of my head. You'll have lots of other fab ideas. It could be, it could even be like a metallic thing. So the thing, like, it could be cogs. Thinking of Belinda and steampunk, it could be images of cogs, even if they weren't metal. If that makes sense. And theme. So, what will our theme be? God, let's hope it's that's got to be more than one. Let's hope it's not hard. Oh, gee whiz. Leaves. Ooh, right. Okay, everyone. So our take 3, and I say, this isn't about being Funky Fossil exclusive. You know, if you've got dyes or if you've got embellishments that you think will work well for this, go with them. If you can squeeze something Funky Fossil onto the make, then that would be great, and let us know what it was, just because we're all nosy, aren't we? Gold leaf. Good point, Erica. Yes, you're already well ahead of me, aren't you? I'm going to have to think. I did, and at one point I did think, oh, I wonder if I could do the if I could do a make here and now. But of course I thought, oh, that's ridiculous, because there's no way of knowing what I'm going to pull out of the jar. So I don't know how I'd make something out of thin air, really. So, but I will use these 3 prompts for our Sunday make on this weekend. So you'll see what I come up with, but in no way does that kind of mean you have to follow suit. I'd like to see your take on this as well. And I will pick somebody at random from the album in the Facebook group to win a kind of mystery bundle with a value of £50 at the end of every month. So I will send you a bundle of product to the value of 50. I hope you'll enjoy that. I just thought it'd be a really fun thing to do. And you know, I wanted you to get in on the randomness of me not knowing what the heck we're going to do this month. So leaves kind of works for us, doesn't it? Because it's got that autumnal vibe. Yeah, you can hear my cogs. Yes, you do, Erica. I will set up an album. This is where I need Ali to show me what to do. But I will set up an album in our Fun with Funky Fossil Facebook group. And the album will be under media, I think it is. And then I'll certainly put the link to my YouTube video in that album. And that's where you post your challenge entries, up to 3 in the month, if you're feeling particularly creative and really want to explore those 3 prompts. Right, I'll see what you'll come up with. So yeah, do share the word and get other people involved. I think it'd be a really fun way of kind of just challenging our creative imaginations. Right. Shall I do a quick demo, everybody? Yeah, black and white. I think I like all of those 3 prompts, Steph. I just don't know if I like them together. That's the challenge. I suppose that is the challenge. Right. I thought I'd do a quick layout in my journal, if you've got time for me. I will, Jane. Yes, I absolutely will put a link to the paper. Oh yes, of course, you don't do Facebook, do you? So I'll put a link in the in my newsletter as well that goes out tomorrow. I did think about buying some in, obviously, because Andrew and the team would obviously be able to supply that. But I just thought, again, I'm trying to manage my impulse not to restock everything. So you can certainly get it from Pink Frog at a fabulous price. I might even ask Andrew whether I can get a bit of a discount code for you all. Anyway, rambling, talking aloud. This is what I thought we'd do. So I thought we'd do a bit of Gesso Resist as the base for our journal page. Now, I did do a video on Gesso Resist ages ago, so some of you may have seen that. And effectively what it means is we put the gesso through the stencil, and dry gesso typically resists ink and kind of paint, so it gives you a nice subtle effect in your background. This fabulous stencil's Forest Foliage, which has been out of stock forever. I've put it back in stock today. It's been out of stock forever because it takes a lifetime to cut. But I so wanted to use it. I thought it's not fair if I use it and it's not available. So it is now back in the shop. So gesso, massive tub of gesso, much more than you'll need. This Liquitex gesso is quite fluid, which isn't always ideal for doing stenciling, because as we know, is the drier really the medium the better for stenciling, in terms of keeping the image crisp. But we'll see how we get on. As you know, as you will know, makeup sponge. I'm just tapping this away so I don't overload it and make a mess. I'm tapping down rather than moving as I would do with a brush, because obviously again I don't want to smear or get any bleed onto the stencil. So I've been rabbiting on, but I'd love to hear something about your summers. Are you all well? Any exciting news? Do share. You know how nosy we all are. I'm not, by the way, not covering all of this. I'm trying to kind of go slightly diagonal. I'm going to be covering a lot of this up. You won't be able to see some of this. Yeah, I will lift it up in a second so you can see. This is a bit like when you do the embossing, isn't it? With the clear ink, you can't really see anything until we add the colour over the top. I'm being very random. Can you see that? Is any of that coming through? Maybe very, very vaguely. In terms of this journal, by the way, it's 8x8. It is a, I'm going to get my pinks right. It's a pink pig journal. The black ice technique. I don't even know what that is, Steph. I seem to have leaves. Well, I'm not doing the challenge now, but yeah, that's a very good point actually. I could use this. Thank you, Jane. Inspired me as always. Right, I'm going to give this a quick blast with a heat gun before we put the ink over the top, because obviously we don't want our gesso to be wet, but it's drying pretty quickly. That was funny, Ellen. Yeah, it probably is your cat rather than my finished image. Right, that feels dry. That feels dry. So let's use some greens. I'm going for this collection. I've been using mainly greens and some purple, obviously under duress, but it had to be done. So I've got some peeled paint and forest moss. Oh, have you had a house full for school holidays, Hannah? My two boys are back from university and they go back in a couple of weeks. Well, my eldest is graduated now, so he's going off traveling in a few weeks, and my youngest is going back to uni. So I've had to negotiate this time in here because their rooms are either side of here, so I've had to negotiate a ceasefire on music and loud noises so I could do the live. So peeled paint first off. A nice kind of say a lot, slightly olivey green, I think. So again, I'm not looking to cover the whole image and the whole page. And we'll just do that, and the leaves will start to come out and appear, looking a bit pale there. Let's try a bit of forest moss, get something a bit dark on the screens. It's getting dark, isn't it? It does feel like we're already into those autumn months, but it has been a fabulous summer, so weather-wise. So I can see the leaves. I'm not sure it's really resisting as much as I'd like. I think it could be because I haven't really let the gesso dry properly. I'm going to spritz it with some water to see if that helps. The ink is bringing the leaves out. So the gesso is bringing the leaves. Yeah, the ink is bringing the leaves out, but it's not. They're not coming through quite as clearly as I was hoping. I'm gonna, if nothing else, this will give me a nice distress splatter. Oh, look at that. That's a cool splatter. So my leaves may be a bit more invisible than I was hoping. Let's see if I can bring it up. Can you see them? Can you see them? I can, but they're not as resisty as I was hoping. Can you see them, anybody? Yeah, it's one of my favourite greens. Is this what black ice is? There's. Oh, I missed it now. I missed the comment. Can you not see the leaves, Amanda? Can you just say yes to make me feel better? So I need to be quite so honest. Let's put some more forest moss on to keep Ali happy. Yeah, they're not coming through as clear. I can see them, but it hasn't resisted as well as it should do. And I don't think adding more ink is going to make any difference, to be quite honest. I like it though. There is some leaves there, Amanda. Just trust me. Can you see them now? Thank you, Ali. See you later, Caroline. So there you go, Amanda. We've got leaves. So what I'm going to do, and this is a very simple journal layout, is I have, because I haven't really shown you these beautiful digi stamps, I have just coloured with pencils the lovely dormouse. How beautiful is he or she? So it's a good size image. So this is going to fit nicely on our journal page. And I probably am not going to see many or much of the stenciling anyway. So that's lucky. And I was going to put, so I've got two of the circles from the digi stamps, the numbers and the script. I've cut the script smaller with a die, so it's smaller than the image on the page because I wanted them to be different sizes. And I'm going to add some colour to them let's see, let's have a look. I've forgotten how much you all heckle me. Oh, you can see them now, Amanda. Good work. Oh, meat and potato pasty, Erica. You are sophisticated. Yeah, I think I'm going to go that way. So I think let's put purple here and we'll put green on this circle. Just tying our colours together. So Oh, tell me which purple to use, everybody. I've got shaded lilac, I've got seedless preserves, and I've got wilted violet. Wilted violet is the most purple of the purples. I think I'm going to go seedless preserves. Wilted violet's too much for me tonight. Oh, Hannah. Pink? What do you mean? Oh, I'm confused. Black and white and one colour plus metallic. Yeah, so I think you could have black and white plus blue, for example. But then you could heat emboss your sentiment in silver or gold, or heat emboss some leaves. So the metallic doesn't need to be the third colour, but if you would like it to be the third colour, then you would not be disqualified. Does that help? Victoria, I ain't got Victorian velvet out there, Jane. Gee whiz. You lot. Seedless preserves then. Are you just being difficult, Jane Bolton? I can't remember when I last saw my Victorian velvet. Right, seedless preserves. I should know better than to ask you all, shouldn't I? So I could have done this on the A4 sheet, but obviously I wanted to have it cut out ahead of time for demo purposes. And this is a laser print and ink blend over the top, absolutely no problem. Even though the oxides have a slight level of opacity to them, I haven't found them really dulling the print at all. You can always rub over the top if you're worried about the print, but I think it kind of slightly resists it. So it's a nice coverage. It's not picked raspberry, Nicola. Seedless preserves. Oh, hi, Jeannie. Well, don't worry, Jeannie. I think they've all fallen asleep now. They're watching me, so you got your nap in first. So let's put a little bit of water on here. So continue with our splatter theme. I must say this lifts very nicely as well. So seedless preserves, not picked raspberry, not Victorian velvet, seedless preserves. Honest to goodness. Right, what should we do? Let's put forest moss on the green circle, so it'll tie in nicely with the background, with our non-resisting gesso. So yeah, I thought the kids were back at school already, Hannah. I hadn't realised that they're only going back tomorrow. I remember when summers used to feel very long. Just splattered that with some water. You could use pink raspberry, but no, it isn't. That is the challenge, isn't it? I often find that I'm never entirely sure how the colour is going to come across. So we've got our script here. This is a very simple demo, isn't it? Look at that. How lovely does that look? I'm liking that. I would, in terms of doing this in a relaxed way from a slow stitching point of view, I'd probably stitch round circles. You've probably seen a lot of examples online with me that I've been sharing where I've been adding that stitch detail. It's just a lovely way for me to unwind. I'm finding it very relaxing. So I do like to enhance or emphasize particular shapes in the project with some stitching. But I think it'd be too slow for a demo. And then we've got love is like wildflowers is often found in the most unlikely places. Where should we put that? I think we'll put it there and tie those elements together. So Back to my classic on the diagonal. I'm hoping I've got that in shot for you. And so you can't see my beautiful forest foliage stenciling, but it's there, believe me. And it's not picturesque seedless preserves and forest moss in the background. So I'm hoping you can see that a digital collection like this will really work for so many styles and types of making, from your art journaling to your home decor to your cards, etc. But I'm, as I say, like you, I'm learning, so I'm very open to getting any of your feedback in terms of different formats or things you'd like to see in a digital format, if that's something you want to explore and try. But hopefully you've enjoyed the collection and enjoyed the die set as well, and you are ready to dive in and join us for our Take 3 challenge: black and white plus one colour, leaves and metallic. And hopefully we're not all going to get too confused. I'm relaxed about it, everybody. This is about us being creative and enjoying sharing and seeing each other's makes. So don't get overly hung up on the exact rules, but hopefully these prompts will inspire some making this September. And I say I'll share my make on Sunday once I've had a chance to record it. It is a pink pig book, Hannah. So the paper in it's gorgeous. It's a lovely weight of paper. It's like a mixed media paper. It takes a lot of mediums, and they do all sorts of sizes, from kind of 4 by 4 inches up to 12 by 12, and these are 8 by 8, so they're really nice to work in. So I hope it's been lovely to catch up with you all, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that's kind of given you some ideas of where Funky Fossil's going. I'm always open for your ideas and thoughts. As I say, I'm just not at this point in time planning on jumping back into having lots of physical product, but I don't think that means it stops us being creative and sharing our love of what we all do together. So hopefully I'll be here every Wednesday, the first Wednesday of every month, with a video. We'll be picking our Take 3 prompts, having a bit of a giggle, and in between time you'll be able to see me on YouTube on a Sunday. And this Sunday is week 52, so that's a year of YouTube videos. So if you haven't checked any of those out yet, then absolutely please do so. It'd be great to see you there as well. Right, I'm going to see you all later. I'm going to rabbit on way too long, and so I've enjoyed catching up with you, and thank you for still being here. I shall see you again very soon. Bye for now.